Huntington Beach, California is home to one of the world's most renowned design firms, 5-Axis. Their facility is over 20,000 square feet and has all the equipment necessary to create the world's hottest show cars and concept vehicles. Their staff works tirelessly to meet the strict deadlines in the fast-paced automotive industry, and they do so with an unparalleled level of craftsmanship. Now, they're focused on the new Scion FR-S. Founder Troy Sumitomo leads the charge to make the production model even better. Over the course of several weeks, the car will get suspension, 5AD wheels, and a pre-production 5AD aero kit. The best part of this 5-Axis project is that this cutting-edge kit will be made available to the public. Troy will explain the process of what it takes to make this project a reality.
Every project starts with a sketch. So this was, this was the chosen direction. We actually had, several different directions, but we liked this one because it kind of mimicked the concept car that we built for Scion, which this graphic shape right here really kind of ties into the original concept. I think a lot of people like to see things that are derived from a concept car, so they feel like they got, the excitement out of the concept car that into the production car. We take the overall theme from here and then we build in CAD. What Hemming is doing here right now is he's actually making the final production rear spoiler. The one that's on the car is basically a model just to make sure that we like the way it looks, and he's making adjustments to some of the surfaces that we've realized weren't actually right from the first time we made the wing. So what we're going to do with this is once he's done with this piece, we're going to send this over to our manufacturer, and therefore he can make the final production pieces. Because our manufacturer uses a urethane product, which actually has a 1% shrinkage when it's made, we can actually build that into our part. So when we actually make the plug for the final tooling, we'll actually make it 1% larger, so that the tooling will be 1% larger, so when the parts come out, they'll actually be the right size. The next step after doing the CAD data, we process it for machining on the 5-axis mill. After the molds come off of the 5-axis machine, we then laminate the part in fiberglass. Okay, so what this is basically a temporary mold so that we can make a prototype part like this fiberglass piece here. So this fiberglass piece is actually taken out of this mold, and so this is the first prototype. So what we'll do is fit this to the car, and once we make all the adjustments, and if there's any styling changes that we want to do, then we'll go and create the final CAD from which we'll actually make the production molds from. So the final parts are actually made in urethane, not fiberglass. But the prototypes are fiberglass just because they're easier to make and faster to modify. Okay, so this is the front spoiler to the car. What we're doing right now is we're tuning in all the design lines and stuff. What's important right now is we start with a very sharp edge, but ultimately we're going to round this off. But because it was a nice straight line underneath, when you round it off, the highlight or the bright part where the light hits will be nice and straight. The other important thing is that these design lines carry into the overall front end theme of the vehicle. So a lot of these lines will transition into the existing design lines. So what we pride ourselves in is that we really try to respect what the original design intent of the vehicle was, so that when we make our parts, it looks like it really belonged on the car. So after we take it and make the fiberglass part, we'll fit it to the car. But this has already been pretty much fitted to the car. But the prototype piece is put on, and then, like I said, we can make any styling adjustments, like for example these lines and stuff, make sure that they all flow in with the rest of the car. And then once we make all these design changes, then we go back to the CAD and then make the final molds.
The choice of wheels and tires is an extremely important part of creating a show-stopping car. Of course, 5-Axis delivers. After dozens of concepts and show cars, they know what it takes to get that perfect stance. It's hard to remember a car that's been as highly anticipated as the FR-S. With the help of Troy and his team, it goes from hot to scorching. The finished product truly shows their dedication to producing incredible automotive masterpieces.
Okay, so here we have the finished product. Basically, this is a prototype. So this is the fiberglass parts that we showed you earlier. They're all fitted to the car. So this is pretty much representative of the urethane body kit that we'll be coming out with in June. But now that it's probably easier to see, now it's all one color. But there's some styling cues that we really picked up off of the original FR-S concept, mainly in the front end here. So there's a real strong design line right here that really carries over from the concept, as well as some of the lines down the side. Just like the concept car, we want to really give your eye a visual kind of journey through the aero kit. So there's a lot of movement of lines sweeping up and through the car. So again, it's really to carry your eye through the whole design of the vehicle. These are our S5F wheels. This actually has a new finish on it that we're going to be coming out with. It's a lot more high luster silver, still with a little bit of a matte finish, but if you really look at it closely, it really it accentuates the design of the wheel really well because it shadows both the darks and the lights of the wheel. So there's real subtle design lines like these two curving lines here. This one actually carries into the fender well, and this one back actually draws your eye towards the back. But these are kind of things that take your eye on a journey kind of through the movement of the side skirt here and then through the body lines of the car. So there's a lot of sexy lines on this vehicle. So we try to accentuate those lines in our side skirt and front end design as well as the back end. I'm really happy with the way the exterior came out. I think the Aero Kit adds enough styling enhancements to the already very sexy body lines on this car. I think for the price, you can't go wrong with this car. In fact, I'm probably going to run down and put my order in on one of these things as soon as we're done here. You can feel this car really sticks to the road well. I think with the styling enhancements that we offer, coupled with a really aggressive price point, can't see why this car is not going to be a huge win for Scion. So this is Troy from 5-Axis signing off here. Run down to your dealership, buy one of these cars, and buy our parts.